Ready. Play.
Fourth match point for Khachanov. This time it's a second serve.
Well,
not a good return. 6-5, fifth match point. But the first one on serve.
Yeah, pressure on now for Khachanov to serve it out.
Yeah, for sure, because then would be pretty rough. 5 match point, you know. Yeah, I don't find any sense, you know.
Yeah, I think it was it Indian Wells that the dot started, or was it earlier?
Yeah, Indian Wells.
Yeah.
I think, at least.
And it goes long and...
Yeah, Khachanov wins 7-5 in the deciding set tiebreak. And he's into the round 4. Big scream for him. It's been a very close one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say an enjoyable match in the end, because it started a little bit, you know, so, but yeah, in the end, especially the final set has been very, very, very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything changed, Mario, when Cerundolo got those 2 breaks of serve back to back, one to snatch the second set 7-5, and the other one at the beginning, of course, at the third set, and you thought, oh, here we go. But Khachanov got the break back immediately, and I guess that was the crucial part of the match in the end, I guess, Mario.
Yeah, of course, but also Cerundolo has also had a break point when we were 4 games all, so he could have served for the match. Not a big chance because Khachanov, saved the break point with an ace, but potentially Cerundolo was one point away from actually going to serve for it. And yeah, then good job to stay in the tiebreak despite the early disadvantage, but good job for Khachanov. He's into round 4 against Zverev. Zverev should be the favorite maybe, but I think Khachanov can have a chance.
Yeah, Cerundolo with more winners there, 36 winners to Khachanov 20. I guess that's not too big a surprise, but
no.
both of them...
Biggest the unforced error number. Yeah, it's the difference between these two players. Khachanov is, is more that kind of solid baseliner. Cerundolo try maybe to go for it a little bit more. We've seen it especially in the end, when he found himself in trouble. He tried that way to... Yeah, that's it. Khachanov is into the round 4.
Yeah, 53 unforced errors from Cerundolo. I mean, of course, important to remember that 3 sets and 2 of them were very lengthy, if you like, in terms of games. So that can add to that. Cerundolo forehand. I mean, at times I heard you in the commentary. I was watching Zverev against Eubanks, but I was hearing you both sort of getting very excited about some big forehands from Cerundolo. But also, I think there was a couple of points, certainly the match point at the end where Khachanov won it was because Cerundolo went long on the forehand. So was it a bit hit and miss, or am I just am I getting that wrong, Mario?
No, it's more or less right. He for sure took the most risks here between the two players. He tried to go for it with that shot, which is also his most powerful and big shot. And yeah, something was great, but also missed some other shots here and there. And yeah, in the end, Khachanov has been a bit more stable in the crucial moment, and so deserve this win. But we can also say that Cerundolo, after tough golden swing, leaves the Sunshine Double, in my opinion, with better feelings. Now he gets to the European clay. Can do well also there if he's able to find his game. He can for sure have good results if he plays like he did in Miami, for example.
Yeah, I feel quite optimistic now, having seen some of those performances at the beginning of the year from Francisco, and I think he was very low on confidence. And of course, Argentina, his home tournament, not doing as well as I'm sure he would have liked. And then coming into this Sunshine Double, but I think he can hold his head high. I mean, those two matches, I wonder if he goes into that tie break when it was getting tight as well. And thinking back to the Shelton match, I remember watching the Shelton match and it was equal, which is incredible because Shelton on a hard court is top 7, top 8 in the last 12 months, probably, in my opinion. And Cerundolo was with him, until that tie break. And again, we saw today that tie break pretty much very quickly. Khachanov got an early advantage and never let it go. Eddie, before I let you go, because I know it's very, very late and we are going to bring the stream to an end, but very late for you anyway in Seoul. But Khachanov is now going to play Zverev. Is that right?
Yes. So,
I mean, does Khachanov have a chance?
I think he has a chance, but I still favour Zverev in this match. I think that Zverev is overall playing pretty well at the moment, and I just think that the conditions as well. It's going to be. I think it's pretty good for him, and I don't know if I mean, Khachanov was solid today, but I don't know if it's necessarily the level that he's going to have to step up a bit if he plays Zverev in the next round. Well, he will play Zverev, so yeah, I don't know. I think if I'm going to predict, I think that Zverev could actually win it in straight sets, but that's what I'm going with. So yeah,
it's very dark where I am. Oh, there we go. Got a bit of light there. Suddenly, my face goes from dark to light. What do you think, Mario?
Probably just in terms of let's say that maybe a player who tends to go for it a bit more like Cerundolo can be maybe even a bit tougher for Zverev, because Zverev can find himself a bit uncomfortable in some situation. Maybe Khachanov, if plays more of a similar game to what Zverev likes to play. For example, these backhand exchanges they're going to have, Zverev can find himself very well. But at the same point, Khachanov is also that kind of player who tends to bring always at least a decent level to the match. So if you, for example, we saw today, I know that, Zverev is a different player, but if you start a bit off, for example, if you don't find very comfortable, then it may be very, very tough, because Khachanov is difficult to beat him in this, let's say, normal rhythm baseline rallies, because he is very solid both swings, and it's difficult to throw him away off the court.
Yeah, Eddie, you got something to add, or?
Yeah, actually, it's actually been quite a while since they played. The last time they played was at the Tokyo Olympics.
Oh, wow. Okay. And
Zverev
won that one, of course.
Won that. There's a final, yeah. So, so what's the head-to-head? It's 3-2. That Zverev leads it. Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of surprising they haven't played for a long time, because they've both gone deep in a lot of tournaments. But I think their injuries have kind of been at different times. So you had Zverev obviously off the tour for about 8-9 months for a while. And then when he comes back, Khachanov is injured. So I guess that might have played a role. One thing I will say about Zverev in the last, what it feels like, I feel like Zverev probably post French Open last year, I think, is getting pretty much at the same level that we saw him at. Because I know he got to the French Open semi-final, but I think maybe a kind draw. And I didn't quite feel as though until then that Zverev was quite back to his best. But I think since the French Open and certainly since the grass court season, I felt as though, he picked up a title in Asia, I think. Was it in Tokyo, maybe?
No, it was Chengdu, I think.
Chengdu, okay. And then because I was just trying to think, I haven't really seen or felt many bad losses for Zverev, as in like, oh, he shouldn't be losing to him. I know he lost to Safiullin just after that, but Safiullin was playing great, and that can happen.
Yeah, in that moment, yeah.
And Safiullin was playing, and it was like, I think 48 hours after he won. Did he beat Safiullin and then lose to him as well, I think, in quick succession?
He beat Safiullin in the final.
Yeah.
To win the title in Chengdu, and then lost to Safiullin in Shanghai in the Masters.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's to come.
Yeah, but I agree. Of course, there can be, of course, a tournament where you don't find yourself well and you lose.
He's had a couple of losses to Jordan Thompson as well recently.
Oh, so. Okay. But Thompson's star is rising. But yeah, those are not maybe those ones I had forgotten about. But yeah,
I mean overall he showed up well, I would say, also in the big tournaments, because there has been good run at the US Open, at the Australian Open.
Yeah.
So he was actually very close to making to the final this year at the Australian Open. So
yeah, I think he's a very good player, right? And I feel like he steps up in these big tournaments, and I feel when he was playing at his best before he got his injury, he was in that zone where you expected him to do well in all these big tournaments. I think he's maybe starting to get back there again, even if he's not quite at that level again, like you said. So that's kind of why I feel like he's probably going to get the win against Khachanov. But yeah, of course, Khachanov had some success against him, so it's not necessarily going to be easy, but yeah.
Not a done deal. All right, Eddie, it's super late where you are, I know. Yeah. Thank you for joining today. Mario as well, as always. Wonderful commentary from you both, and Shuhui too. And look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And to everyone else, you know the drill.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.